Cain and Abel, responding to injustice, Genesis 4. Welcome back to our Genesis series. Today we're diving into one of the Bible's first stories about injustice, Cain and Abel, in Genesis 4. We've all experienced unfair treatment at some point. Maybe you've been overlooked for a promotion, falsely accused, or even persecuted for your faith. The story of Cain and Abel teaches us powerful lessons about how to respond when we face injustice. Genesis 4 introduces us to Adam and Eve's first two sons. Abel becomes a shepherd, while Cain becomes a farmer. Both bring offerings to God. Cain brings produce from his fields, and Abel brings the firstborn from his flock. God accepts Abel's offering but rejects Cain's. Hebrews suggests Abel's offering came from faith. What's clear is Cain's response. He becomes angry and dejected. God warns Cain to master his anger before it masters him. But Cain ignores this warning, lures his brother to a field, and kills him. When God asks where Abel is, Cain famously replies, "Am I my brother's keeper?" God punishes Cain, but also shows mercy by protecting him from those who might seek revenge. This ancient story reveals so much about human nature and our responses to unfair treatment. When Cain felt rejected, his first instinct was anger and violence, a response we still see today. When we face injustice, especially from authorities or systems, we have choices to make. Will we respond like Cain with bitterness and retaliation, or will we choose a different path? In the ebook Ecclesia, we are reminded that Christians throughout history have responded to persecution with grace rather than vengeance. Like Abel, their faithful witness continues to speak even after death. God's warning to Cain applies to us too. We must master our anger before it masters us. When treated unfairly, our response matters more than the injustice itself. Responding with grace doesn't mean the injustice wasn't real. It means we refuse to let it define us. This story is especially relevant when living under unjust authorities. When facing unfair treatment from government officials, employers, or others in power, our natural response might be resentment and thoughts of revenge. But this path ultimately harms us more than those who wronged us. Notice that God spoke directly to Cain before he acted on his anger, offering him a chance to choose a better path. Similarly, we often have a crucial moment of choice between the initial feeling of being wronged and our response. In that space, we can choose to break the cycle of retaliation rather than perpetuate it. The story of Cain and Abel challenges us to examine our responses when treated unfairly. Will we let anger control us? Or will we respond with grace that breaks the cycle of retaliation? Next time, we'll explore Noah's story and discover how to remain faithful when surrounded by opposition. Until then, remember that your response to injustice speaks volumes about your character and faith. Choose wisely, knowing that responding with grace requires strength, not weakness.